Well, let me make sure I click record as I start today's video, and it is rolling. It is the 14th of May, 2013 at 12:19 in the afternoon. Man, oh man, oh man, what a wonderful time we're having. um, I had an inkling to speak about integrity today because integrity is our one of our main keys, along with gratitude, along with truth, along with service to others far above service to self. And then you find when you start doing this that service to self is standing in your highest integrity and raising your frequency to the highest you can hold becomes your service to others, as well as helping others and being there for others when they're in need. And integrity. And there's so many different levels to integrity as we are going through our ascension process and what that means, and it changes also with time. Um, I grew up in the old South with being taught by my grandparents and parents about being a gentleman, a gentle man, and about my word being my gold, being my value, being my integrity, being one of the highest virtues that we can have. And there are many people right now that are really going through some issues with the economic situation collapsing, and with the changes in friends and relationships and all the things that they've held as being important to them for so long. And with that, many times they start changing um, how they deal with others, and they look at it from fear. And when you do that, you haven't got enough. You've got lack, and you're not really concerned about the other people so much. You're concerned about what you have, and keeping hold of your material well-being as it's dwindling now with our inflation and economic collapse and so many people out of work, and just the whole situation we've got going on. It's a heck of a test to maintain your integrity while all this is going on. There are different levels of integrity, and many times people think they are they are holding high integrity when they keep secrets and are trying to be very private persons, or are doing things and don't want other people to know, or are manipulating, controlling others, trying to get them to do uh, for them, and not living up to their promises by making commitments and not keeping them. There's a lot of this going on right now, and for those of us that are in the ascension process, we can no longer be a bird of shade. We cannot put all our secrets and skeletons in the closet, and because that does not equate with holding the highest light. You've got to clear those karmic issues. You might have to pay back energies to the persons that you have karmic issues with, because you've indebted yourself because they've given to you. You might have to start looking at all these little ghosties in your closet, and releasing them, facing them one by one, and realizing that's who you are and who you have been. It does not mean that that's who you have to be, and start releasing that so you can open your heart and expand your being. And without, as long as we hold those little ghosties in our closet, as long as we're birds of shade, um, you can't hold the highest vibration and highest light. It just simply does not work that way. You can be a very nice person. You can be a very wonderful person and funny person to be around, but still not be able to pass through that ascension gateway, because you haven't addressed your problems. You're still in that state of fear and negativity and living from the head. Duality, plurality, us and them, good and bad, light and dark. Um, Fear that you might not be good enough. Fear that you might have done things that you're ashamed of. And dealing with all this is facing that, is addressing it, is recognizing it as your lessons that you've learned. And as you start realizing higher truths, you realize that none of this stuff really matters anyway. That's your soul experience and your soul lesson. So the thing to do is to learn to relieve yourself of those karmic issues. And to do so, you have to face those issues and what's done. You have to look at those ghosties in your closet, and you have to allow yourself love for having had that, and decide that's not where you wish to be anymore. You wish to be in service to humanity, to the universe, to all that is. And in so doing, you have to open your heart and free yourself of those karmic issues. Now, it's not only, we're looking at karma, it's not only that which we've done ourselves, whether it's to others or to ourselves, but we have to, be forgiving also of what those things that others have done to us, those issues that we've had. And as we're going through the initiation process, as we're stepping into the higher light and higher awarenesses, and increasing our light quotient and our frequency within the field, we have to forgive those other persons that have done things to us. That's just part of the process. You got to release those lower densities and the negativities and all that hanging on to the stuff before you can really open and expand your heart and go through the Ascension Gateway and learn how to activate and anchor your heart chakra. And after that, it's just a process of releasing more and more and more and continuing to expand your light. But holding the highest integrity, it means being the best you can be at all times. And that is what you will find yourself as an ascended master, and you're going through the process. You have to be the best you can be at all times, and you have to be the best you can be for humanity and for Mother Earth and for the universe and for your friends and for your family, and more importantly for yourself, because the mastery process is all about self, and it's all about mastering self. And you have to be very wise in your dealings, and what you say to others. If you make a commitment to someone else, you make sure that you fulfill that commitment. Unless somebody else has broken that contract with you that they agreed to as their part, and their participation in the energy exchange with you, which every relationship has energy exchange. It's just like a job. It's just like you going in, you're exchanging your energy for money, which I hope we get rid of that, because that's the old debt system that keeps us in competition and in states of fear because of lack. And it's not a hope that we're going to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of it. It's just right now we're still dealing with it. And because we're dealing with that, the monetary system, that is one of those stumbling blocks for people and their own personal integrity. And if we got rid of the monetary system, it would be a whole lot easier on some people and their integrity, because they're not constantly trying to do things because of their own personal fears of lack and lack of abundance in their life and in themselves. And so, anyway, integrity is one of the biggest things that humanity has got to face right now. you cannot. I had a dear friend that that I used to watch so much with their children, and me with my child. I couldn't lie to my daughter. I had to tell her the truth and the whole truth, and I think that really upset her in a lot of ways. And I think in the end, that'll be the greatest gift for her own personal growth that she can possibly have. But I had a dear friend that when things would happen, she would always say, "Well, make up a lie," and and she lived her life that way. And although she was one of the most wonderful people I know on this planet, still is, um, she cannot step through that ascension doorway uh, by doing things like that. You cannot lie, cheat, manipulate others, not keep your promises, not keep your commitments to others, or to just let it go because you don't like it without concern of the other individual and their feelings and uh, their energy exchange that's been done. Energy exchanges have to be equal. You cannot discount the energy exchanges that people have done for you without returning the same. That's just it. You know, you can't do that and hold your integrity. You can't change the contracts right in the middle of an agreement that has been made with another, and then you decide you don't want that, although the energy has been given to you and you have not been giving that energy back. There's huge issues with ascension when people do that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Those of us that are in our ascension process, we can look at it and release the karma and say, no, we're not putting any magnetics and emotions into that. We're sorry that it happened that way, and we can release it because we're playing in the 5D energies and above. But persons that are still playing in 3 and 4D, they're playing in karma. And for them, they have to repay those energies until they get past the karmic issues as they go through their ascension process. For 3 and 4D people, and in 5D people too. I mean, we cannot do things in 5D. If we do things out of our integrity in 5D, we get slammed probably 10 times what somebody in 3 and 4D would get by misbehaving. But actually, you lose your vibration and you move back into your head and back into fear when you do something like that, and you lose your status in 5D. So I'm sure you can go. I'm sure you can lose your ascension. We've done that before, and that's what happened. Between Lemuria and Atlantis during the fall, and we lost our integrity and our God selves, in living with the highest state of caring for ourselves, Mother Earth, and humanity, and the animals, and all the various kingdoms here. We lost that state of grace, and we fell. So I'm quite sure that persons can go through their ascension process and possibly go back the other way. I choose not to, because the bliss is heaven, and that's what we're going for. We're going for that heaven, that bliss, that perpetual state of unconditional love that creates the magic. Without that unconditional love, without that bliss, without that energy within your field, you lose the magic. You lose a lot of the synchronicities. And as you increase your light by holding the highest integrity possible, you increase your frequency, and those synchronicities just become the way of life. It is just a natural state that you live in. And so anyway, holding the highest integrity, that's one of the keys to our personal ascension, and that's something that will remain with us, forevermore, as we're in our constant state of expansion. Anyway, time to get on some other farming and ranch chores. I hope this video records. It's 15 minutes now. Anyway, I love you all. Bye for now.